Yeah, man, my name's Kevin Christian, and I'm on remote neural monitoring. So, I've been trying to really refrain from putting out videos right when things happen, and I'm very emotional about these things. But I did do a video a little while ago. I started to put it out, and then I was like, nah, let me not do that, because that's the first thing they want to do. The first thing they want to do is use all the crazy rants and the things that you say about what they're doing to you. They want to use that against you because it makes you look crazy. It makes you look insane, right? Going on about these guys attacking me and all this stuff, and somebody who doesn't really understand what's going on, that hasn't been following the whole thing, they might watch a video like that and be like, okay, this guy's gone. So I mean, I know you guys understand, but you guys that are targeted like I am, I know you understand, and you're not the only ones that watch my videos, and I got a lot of other things going on, and I don't need, I mean, there's plenty of my videos, I'm sure, that already are just, but I mean, I'm gonna leave all the old ones. It's my story. It's the saga, the telepathic saga of my remote neural monitoring. And sometimes it can be very embarrassing to talk about these things, and sometimes I get concerned that some of these things may come back to haunt me, some of these crazy things. But ultimately, I know that I'm telling the truth. So, I feel like maybe short term, it looks crazy. It makes me look crazy, and it is embarrassing. But long term, who else? Who else is really doing this? So it's not that many of us that are really coming out with the real truth about what's going on, and it's important. It's important for that to stand, even though there is some consequences socially, at least, and then possibly otherwise. But I want to talk about some of the things that have been happening for the last. I wrote down some things yesterday, and I wrote down some things today, and I want to talk about some of those things. And I don't have my paper from yesterday, but I have my paper from today, and I'm just going to talk about some of the things that these gang stalkers are doing. And you know what? I want to check my meter too real quick. Okay, so that's about right, really, for in the car, 25 to 30 in the car. If you get out of the car, it'll be more like 45, 43 to 48 in that range, specifically for micro Teslas. And what that means is that they're live streaming if it's higher than that. That's normal. It's measuring an electromagnetic field. Okay, so assumingly the Earth's magnetic field, because it's everywhere. So if you turn it on and it's not in close proximity to something that would manipulate the reading, then you could consider that to be broadcast. They are accurate. It's not just some flaky app. I do have an expensive meter, and I just prefer to use the iPhone, my old iPhone. It's the iPhone 5S. It's small, and it's easy to read, and I just turn it on, and that's all I use it for. It's all I use it for. So it does work. It's accurate, and so yeah, that's what I use. And 45 microteslas is about normal. If you turn it on and it says 80 or 400 or something like that, then it's very likely that you have a broadcast turned on. And what that means is that gang stalkers are live streaming. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're on remote neural monitoring now. It does mean that, but it doesn't mean that right then is when it's activated. It's always on. And they can attack you, and they can read your thoughts and see what you see. They receive you, is what they do. They wear a mind control headset. It's no more invasive than this hat I'm wearing. And they can receive you in a way that where your thoughts are in their mind like it's their own thoughts. If you see something, they can see it like they see it. If they see it in their own mind, like it's their own vision when they see what you see. So they can do that anytime. But when they start to live as a broadcast, so they can set it up on the neuromonitoring. There's lots of different settings. They can set it things however they want to. And so one of the things that they'll do is they can live as a broadcast, and like a virtually invisible hologram. They can be seen in some circumstances, but it's very difficult for human eyes to see. It's out of the visible spectrum, but some people have a larger range of visible spectrum with their eyes, and so it's not far from the visible spectrum. So because I've seen it, all right, and a lot of other people have too. I've seen broadcasts. I've seen them living as broadcasts. I've even got videos of it, but it doesn't show up. It shows up for your eyes better than it shows up for video. But I would suspect that a full spectrum camera, which are very expensive, would be able to see broadcast. It would make sense logically that would be possible once you move outside of the visible spectrum into like the ultraviolets or the infrared and things like that. Anything that's out of the normal spectrum. But when they're living as broadcasts, most of the time they're doing live streams, okay? And it's an EMF broadcast live stream, and that's how they make money. That's the biggest way that gang stalkers make money, by doing live streams. And the targeted person is going to be part of that live stream, and they may be attacking you and stuff like that. So they could be doing whatever, and their little show that they're putting on is that's what they call the live stream, and it's an EMF broadcast live stream, and they live stream that to other gang stalkers, and it can allow them to connect and like really connect to receive you, and they all connect to each other like a hive mind, and they call it being on mind control. And that's what mind control is in this sense, is receiving somebody else, receiving thoughts and mental processes, EEG, that are not yours initially. And to receive that is a form of mind control. So it doesn't mean you're a zombie that can wander off into traffic. But anyway, let me just real quick, I want to go over a few of the things. So they've been attacking my genitals again. And just a little while ago, I was talking to somebody, and they started attacking my genitals so bad I literally had to walk away. It was very embarrassing, and it was probably the worst genital attack that I've ever experienced. There's a roughly around 55-year-old man that's been on my neuromonitoring for many years, like probably at least 5 years at least. And he was the one who did it. And he's the most violent one usually. Him and his older brother, who's like 61 or 62. And then a third guy who I believe may also be related to them. Those three guys are on my channel 24/7. They're addicted to mind control. They're addicted to this mind. And they oftentimes scream how much they hate me. But they attack me in violent ways just about every day. But the last 2 days have been full on violence. Like trying to hurt me, doing things that hurt me. They've been attacking my eardrums. They've been attacking my head a lot over the last 2 days. And it's where you can feel the microwaves, the broadcast, okay, going into your flesh. And it feels like they're dehydrating your flesh, like it's dehydrating and burning your flesh. It's a nasty feeling. And if cancer has a feeling, I would think that it would feel like that. They've been attacking my head very violently. On my list, when it gets violent like that, I write who they are and where they are, and I want that in my pocket in case they succeed in harming me in a way that would call for medical attention. They've been attacking my left knee again, just kind of on and off here and there. They don't do it often like they used to. It used to be one of their favorite places to attack was my left knee. But I think now that there's probably, if I were to have, unlimited amount of money and resources to have these type of things checked out, I believe I could find evidence of microwave scarred tissue in my left knee. Otherwise, when they're not doing anything, it's not a problem. Only when they're attacking me, it's very painful. But it is to the point that they have attacked me in some ways, in some places, so aggressively and so persistently over time that it does seem to start to be an injury, a lasting injury. Also, they've been attacking my butt, my actual butthole. Yes, it's embarrassing to talk about. I know I look crazy, okay, but I feel like somebody has to talk about this stuff. Somebody has to tell the truth. And even though it's embarrassing, and even though it could be probably used against me to say I'm insane or schizo or something like that, who knows? But, I feel like maybe my life and my actions could speak for themselves, because otherwise, other than me saying something like that, you wouldn't have any clue that anything was going on with me, because I don't run around talking about it or acting insane or anything like that. I'm just a normal guy. I have a full-time job. I have a part-time job, and other things. I got other things going on too. So I'm a very busy person. I'm very hell-bent on being successful. I think that's the key. I think the biggest key is to be very successful and to document everything, and maybe learn some of the science behind the technology, and definitely some computer coding and stuff like that. At one point, they started attacking my heart, and it was I call it a super heart shock. It was scary, really. It was scary to the point that it even scared them. After the fact, they didn't do it again. And when it's like that, when they just like, oh, I might have just messed up, that it's bad. Okay, because I was afraid that it might have caused a problem or something at that point. And it's definitely, without a doubt, it is attempted murder. That's what it is. Even if they think, oh, it probably won't kill him, you could tell when it does have a really, it's very effective what they do, then it makes them nervous. Like, oh, but it's attempted murder. And if you're attacking somebody's heart with a microwave broadcast, you better believe it could kill them. And if you did that, that's a murder or attempted murder, whether you intended on it to kill them, or whether, like they like to say, they're effing with me. They're always talking about they're effing with me. We're effing with him, or we were effing with him, blah, blah, blah. I don't see it that way. Really, I don't see it. It's not like they put a whoopee cushion in my chair. Okay? They attacked my heart with a microwave broadcast. They attacked my genitals in a way that made me want to curl over and fall on the floor. I had to immediately walk away from the people that I was talking to. Okay? It's that bad. It's not effing with you. It is a violent attack, attempted murder, aggravated assault, torture is what it is. And it's a very violent thing that these gang stalkers are doing with EMF broadcasts. Now I wrote that last heart shock hit something vital. Like, it hurt bad. It hurt bad, and it left me in a very concerned state of mind for like 30 minutes after that. Genital shocks. I wrote myself a note to make sure that because I haven't been doing these videos, and I want to make sure that I do these videos. I need to document the things that they're doing to me. All right, and I'm going to do the list that I made yesterday. I'm going to do that later too, when I get to where that list is. Severe genital torture, left eardrum attack, and then they're attacking my throat, like something in my throat. Almost felt like my tonsils or something like that, with broadcast. Severe heart attack again, and that was like 3 or 4 hours later. Once everything had calmed down, they attacked again, but they didn't. At that time, they didn't hit the the magic place or whatever they had hit that other time that really caused for a lot of concern. Continuous, I write deadly penetrating head attack. It's just like all in your head, man. It's not like a headache or something like that. It feels like microwaves. And you know, if you experience this for a while, you really, there's a huge difference in a normal type of pain and then this type of thing. It's really bad, and it's attempted murder. You're attacking somebody's head with a microwave broadcast. Okay, that is the most important or the second most important organ in your body. The heart and the brain, that would be your most important to. You're not really going to live without your brain too well. You might be brain dead and just lay there on a machine. What a life. Or if they do something to your heart, you're dead. Okay, so those two things in particular, I mean, they attack my abdomen and kidneys and lungs and they're always attacking vital organs and stuff like that. But those two in particular, there's no way around calling that attempted murder. It has to be attempted murder. There's no other way to look at it. There really isn't. Attacked my throat. I called it a tonsil shock. And then they get mad when I write down stuff. And it's like, they get mad. They seem to get mad when I feel it. I'm like, ugh. And then they're like, they whine at me. Kevin, man. They like to punish me, you know, and torture me more when I write it down, especially abdomen torture, left eardrum. I'm talking about directly left eardrum. Like, they hurt my eardrum two different times in the last 10 hours. They hurt my eardrum very severely, like the pain. It wasn't like some of the other times where it caused my hearing to go muffled. And when that happens, it usually takes a good hour to 2 or 3 for your hearing to fully recover. But it wasn't like that. I can feel the broadcast on the side of my head right now, like right in this area. And one thing that I could tell you is that when they live as a broadcast, they can see broadcast. All right, and I'm sure there's some scientific reason behind that. But when they live as a broadcast, they can see from that broadcast. So it's like they can see. If they're standing in front of you, they can look at you from the broadcast that they're living as. And even though it's hard for a human to see broadcast, for a broadcast, it's not hard at all. And I'm sure there's some scientific reason why waves can see waves so well. Oh, that's what I was saying. When they are attacking me on, like, while I'm doing videos, I believe that it's so people who are living as a broadcast that happen to watch my videos, gang stalkers, that watch my videos as a broadcast, because they live as broadcast all the time. It's very addictive for them. That's why they just lay in their houses like a hermit. They don't come out. They do this in their sleep. Their physical body is in a sleep state. So while they're asleep, they can catch up on the YouTube videos or whatever. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to be awake 24/7? What if you had an online job? You could just work 24/7, right? Make money nonstop. That's one of the advantages, I guess, to this technology. Or maybe you could have blind people see. Or maybe you could have deaf people hear. Or maybe you could find missing children. Or maybe you could know when a murderer is guilty or not. Or maybe you could use this technology for something good instead of being some evil Satan worshiper that intends to control the world population and has a bunch of morons addicted to mind control, unknowingly torturing society because it's fun for them, but really it's part of the plan, because they're like the little puppets that don't even realize that they're just tools falling into the grand scheme. Yeah, so broadcast can see broadcast. So I think that's why they like to attack me while I do videos, in case a broadcast person wants to watch my video. More deep penetrating head attacks. Worst head shock of the day. They're hurting me really bad. They attack the back of my neck right at the top. You know, if you feel the back of your neck, right at the top of your back, where your neck and your back meet, that bone where it's like the top of your spine, they attack that on me all the time. All the time. It's one of their favorite places, and there's a lot of nerves around that area, so it's a gritty, nasty feeling. It's like a neurological attack, and they do that to me all the time. Sometimes they'll leave a broadcast on there for hours. It's a bad deal. And then as soon as they stop, oh, you good. You know, but while they're doing it, you're like, ugh. Also severe abdomen torture, attacking my butthole, broadcasting my mouth. I gotta taste electricity and broadcast all the time. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It'll cause your gums to deteriorate and your teeth to fall out, even if there's nothing wrong with them. At one point, a really bad eyeball shock. My left eyeball about 5 times in a row. That was the only time they attacked my eyeballs in the last day. Also broadcasting my mouth. Again, they continue to attack my left eyeball. Worst attack of the day, easily, until they did that genital attack. It was causing my eyes to go blurry, and I could taste broadcast in my mouth, my lips burning, taste electricity. And then they did that genital attack, and I kind of threw a fit about it. So they pretty much shut down the live stream. Then check the meter one more time. Oh, okay. Yeah, you saw that? It was at 136 that time. I think I seen 136, and then they hurried up and turned it off. But they're caught. They got caught. They just got caught live streaming me, making a video about them torturing me on their live stream. All right, so I should have known as soon as he started attacking the side of my head a few minutes ago. I should have known right then to check the meter. I would have known. If they would have been talking and I wasn't talking, doing a video, I would have knew immediately, because I can always tell by the way that they talk and act when they're living as broadcast. But that's when they start doing live streams, and they see what you see. So, you know, when I turn this on, I turn it on. It's not going to be like that. The only reason it's not 45 is because I'm in the car. All right, I could get out of the car and it would go right up to 45. You see, it's at 42 right there at the window. It would go up to like 47 if I got out of the car. You know, when you get under the roof and encased in this metal, it'll go down some. So that 135 was probably more like, you know, 170 or something like that. But, you know, that they see what you see. They can see what you see, and they see what you're doing. They can see you. So I don't know if maybe they were seeing me living as broadcast, or if they're seeing what I'm seeing. It just depends on how they have it set up on the neural monitoring. They access stuff online. They're on the same neural monitoring. All right, so you turn on the meter, especially me. They know the video is going to be public. I turn on the meter, bam, they racing to that screen to turn off the broadcast. They're racing to that screen. And then believe it or not, okay, and it's very bizarre, believe it or not, but when they're living as a broadcast, they can have a virtual device broadcasted with them, and as long as they have a way to connect to internet with that broadcast, then they can control the settings as a broadcast while their physical body is asleep. Literally, they can do it on a real phone or a virtual phone broadcasted, or a virtual phone logged into from a real phone. Check out Android Studio and Xcode if you want to know more about virtual devices, or you could type it in on my page, virtual devices, and find a lot of stuff where I've talked about it. But that's a big way that they hide neural monitoring stuff and EMF stuff, is with virtual devices, so it's not on their physical device. And if they use their physical device to go to it, it'll log into it wherever they have it hosted, like Bluehost or Gator or something like that. So I promise. I swear to God. Swear to God on my children, this is how they do this. Swear to God on my eternal place in the heavens. So anyway, that's what's going on, and that's it. So I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.